What's poppin'? What's going on? What's happening? Honestly, I haven't found my signature greeting yet, and until I maybe do, I just won't greet you at all and just start right with the video. So let's go.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
October is over, and if you remember, we had a challenge or a promotion going on in October where a client or anyone could hire us to shoot their project, their video, their photo shoot, and just pay us whatever they think is right, whatever they can afford, whatever they think is fair for the job done. And this was as well as a promotion, as well as a means to actually get the ball rolling and get some kind of a discussion in the industry, because if somebody would have hired us for, let's say, 500 euro and we would have usually charged 2500 euro for that, we could have actually sit down with the client and just have it, heart to heart, and just explain to them why we would have charged 5 times as much as he would have thought was actually the right price for it. And this was actually quite the interesting project, and since I actually promised you that we will do behind the scenes and we will just do a resume and a recap afterwards, here's the recap, and here's all the behind the scenes and all the jobs that we have done in October. So yeah, that's all of them. And actually, we did get a lot of requests. We had a lot of phone calls, we had a lot of emails, but in the end, there was actually not a single shoot be done during that promotion. And here's pretty much why. A lot of the people actually have mistaken the video for, hey, there's a free video to grab. And this was never the promotion. Yes, a lot of people asked me in the comments, so what if somebody hires you for €1 or $1 or 50 cents? Would you actually do it? And I said, yes, I would do it, because it said, hey, hire us for whatever you think is fair. But under one condition, and that was always the case, because this is also to create YouTube content. And if they would have hired us for €1, they would have to go in front of the camera afterwards and explain to us and you, the audience, why they think €1 is fair for the job, or if they couldn't afford anything more than €1 or whatsoever. And actually, none of the people, surprisingly, were willing to step in front of the camera and justify hiring us for no money at all or €1. So that was really disappointing, because there were a lot of really promising jobs in there. And in the beginning, when we actually uploaded the video to YouTube and to my private Facebook account, where it got shared by a lot of people, so it actually had a lot of reach outside the YouTube and filmmaking community. So I was actually pretty curious what kind of job offers we would get, and here are some of the job offers we did get. So there was one really interesting job offer that came from Portugal, and they actually wanted us to film some kind of surf camp or boot camp in Portugal for 2 to 3 days, and they would cover all our expenses, the flights and the hotels. And so I asked them, so what's the budget for it in terms of, our compensation? And he said, yeah, but the flights and the hotel and being at the surf camp would be the compensation. And that is something I've seen in the industry a lot, where clients just try to hire somebody for basically a free vacation. What they mostly don't understand is that the creative can pay their rent, their bills, their insurances, their equipment, or anything by just flying somewhere and being on vacation. And second, it's not a vacation if you have to work on it. So even if you were to film the surf camp, we wouldn't be enjoying the surf camp because we would be filming. And he was somewhat understanding to that. So he was thinking about just giving us 2 more free days at the surf camp. So we would, work 2 days and then have 2 days off, everything paid. But even that he wasn't really willing to do, because in his mind it was enough for us to actually travel to Portugal and be there for 2 days, even though we would be working. So we had some phone calls, we had some email contact, but in the end he just didn't reply to anything anymore, because again, I wanted to have him in front of the camera explain his side of things, that he would actually think that this is enough compensation for 2 creatives just being in Portugal. But obviously, when he thought about it, this wasn't enough and he didn't want to pay anything above that. The next job was a couple music videos, but none of them had any budget whatsoever, so they just wanted to have a free music video, and that's really kind of disappointing. We like music videos a lot, but most of the times there's just no budget. But then again, like sometimes, I wouldn't really say angry, but it's really frustrating when they hit you up on Instagram, hey, are you free today? We're shooting a music video down there and you could come and shoot pictures. And I'm like, oh cool, yeah, what's the budget? No, there's no budget, just do it for fun. So yeah, I love shooting photography, I love shooting video, but I also have a lot of expenses and I need to make money. Also, I'm not giving away my work for free. And a lot of people, they just see, filmmaking or any kind of creative work, might it be music or painting or, whatever it is, as just a means of a hobby, and we all love what we're doing, so we don't need to get paid. And trust me, we need to get paid because I have a lot of bills to pay for this business. So again, this was frustrating, and obviously they didn't want to deal with any of the bad negative promotion, whatever it would be, if they had to explain that they want to have a music video shot without any budget. So yeah, they never called us back. Then there was some other actually pretty interesting projects. One, for example, was a non-profit organization that is taking care of parrots in Mexico and other endangered species. And they already had like a real big project there, which I kind of misunderstood in the beginning. I thought they wanted us to film the whole thing in Mexico, which we would have actually done. Because it was for a good cause and just for the travel accommodation and film all that, because like I said, this would be a good cause that we are totally all about. And the second thing would be we would have like really great footage in Mexico that we could actually use to actually try to get bigger jobs in that kind of field, which we were trying to do anyway. But then again, it was a misunderstanding. They already had somebody shoot all that in Mexico for them. Now they wanted us to shoot an interview with them in Vienna and use that other person's footage to actually make a promo video out of that, and they didn't have a budget. So obviously this was a no-go as well, and we didn't do that either. And there were some other stuff like, some boot camps in the Netherlands or something else in other countries, or even here in Austria for a restaurant. But for some reason, none of these people had any budgets or weren't really willing to pay anything. So nobody actually approached us with, hey, we have 500 euros. I'm sorry we don't have more. Is there something we can do? Is there a video in it for us? They were basically just, hey, we want a video, but we have no money. All of them. And then probably one of the most disappointing things was a good friend of mine. He's a DJ, he also writes jingles, so he's a full-time musician, he does this for a living. And he hit us up because he's now releasing a new album, and he wanted to have like a medley teaser video where he's just, teasing all the songs on his new album, and that actually had like a video to it. So I was pretty excited about that. So I actually talked to him. I actually came up with an idea that was actually fit his vibe and his new video and his new album. And then again, like I started to sense that there's not a lot of money in there when he started to come like, but you already have a lot of footage, maybe you can use what you already have so you don't need to go out and shoot something. And I was like, wait, what? I don't want to do that. And because I really had this idea of this video and I was really kind of excited. And then when he started like, can't you just, use a time lapse or a drone shot? And you don't even have to write anything. I'll just put in the titles in iMovie myself. And then I knew, yeah, there's no budget for it either, which was really disappointing. A, because this would have been a project that we actually would have loved to shoot, and B, being underappreciated and undervalued by a fellow artist is even more disappointing than being from just some corporate guy that has no idea what this business is all about, but by, being misjudged by a fellow artist that should know better, that you actually need to pay your bills with your creative work, and this is also, a means of appreciation, was really disappointing. Speaking of disappointing, I know you're disappointed that I don't have any cool behind the scenes, that I don't have any insights, that I have no, heart to heart with any of our potential clients, because obviously all of them bailed out and backed out of the deal. So I'm as much disappointed as you guys, but I'm actually quite curious how you guys handle all these people that have actually no budget, because Trust me, when there's no promotion going on and we set our prices, it's the first thing I do whenever somebody contacts us. They say they want a video, I give them our rough day rates so that they know at least like a, number that they can actually use for budgeting in their project. And sometimes even that isn't enough. So I tell them our day rates are 1,500 euros plus editing plus whatever. And then they come, oh, it's great, give me your number. So you call them, you come up with an idea for a video, just, a rough one. And they actually point to videos on your YouTube channel. Hey, this one is so great. I want to have like the same vibe, the same feeling. So you keep texting for like 2 to 3 days. And then they come around with, hey, we have $100 for the entire thing. And I'm like, I told you that our day rate is 1,500 without editing, and he wants to have the whole thing shot for $100. So how do you handle these clients? And I have hundreds of stories like that, up to the point where I actually drove somewhere where they said like, hey, I have 3,000 euros, we need it right now in 2 hours. I get there and there's nothing. The person I was supposed to shoot the video for didn't even know they were shooting a video that day. So anyway, like, how do you deal with that? Like, do you just not give out any information and just have them sign, a contract in the beginning before you even start talking to them? Or maybe you have like a deposit that they actually get back when you actually shoot the video? Or how do you even deal with that? Because this is so frustrating and there's so much time actually being lost to people that just seemingly wanted to waste your time. So how do you deal with these clients? The way we deal with them is basically we just don't deal with them at all anymore, and we're just focusing on our YouTube career because this is something that we're really passionate about, and it starts picking up at least a little bit of steam. We're starting to make a little bit of money with our LUTs and contract sales and with views and clicks and Amazon affiliate links and all that kind of stuff. So this is something we want to focus on in the future and not have to deal with frustrating clients. Obviously, there's clients that are actually really cool to work with. There's really cool projects. We just shot a boxing training camp and we're going to shoot the actual fight this Saturday, and they already paid up 60% up front. And so this is pretty cool, and I'm really, really thankful for this job because this is also something I like to shoot. But in general, we're trying to get away as much as possible from the regular clientele and just focus on our own creative work like YouTube. So how do you deal with that? I hope you still enjoyed that video, and I also hope to see you on the next one. After you're subscribed, hit the like button and turn on the notification bell. Take care.